November 6th, 1956. A phone rings in 10 Downing Street, London. British Prime Minister Anthony Eden picks up. On the other end, the President of the United States. The conversation lasts 3 minutes. When Eden hangs up, the British Empire is over. Not in a war, not in a dramatic battle, in a phone call. This is the story of the 6 days that changed everything. Most people think the British Empire faded slowly, gradually gave up colonies, peacefully transitioned to a smaller role. That's not what happened. There was a specific moment, a breaking point. 6 days in 1956 when Britain went from giving orders to the world to taking orders from Washington. And almost nobody knows the real story. What actually happened was more brutal, more humiliating, and more important than any history class will tell you. Because this isn't just about Britain, it's about how superpowers actually fall. And the pattern from 1956, it's happening again right now. Let me take you back to October 1956. Britain still thinks it rules the world, and why wouldn't they? They defeated Napoleon, abolished the slave trade, won 2 world wars, built the largest empire in human history, 1/4 of the planet under the British flag. Sure, they're tired, broke from World War II, losing colonies here and there, but they're still Britain, still powerful, still matter. Then Egypt does something unforgivable. July 26, 1956. Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalizes the Suez Canal, just takes it, says it belongs to Egypt now, not Britain and France. Here's why that's a big deal. The Suez Canal isn't just a canal, it's the highway between Europe and Asia. 1/3 of Britain's oil flows through it, billions in trade, the lifeline of what's left of the British Empire. And Nasser, this former colony, this upstart leader, just took it. For Britain, this is personal. This is about pride, about showing the world that you don't mess with the British Empire. Prime Minister Anthony Eden is furious. He calls Nasser the Hitler of the Nile. He wants the canal back, by force if necessary. So Britain makes a plan, a secret plan. Here's what most people don't know. Israel, France, and Britain make a deal, in secret, behind closed doors. The plan is simple. Israel invades Egypt from the east, Britain and France pretend to be shocked, offer to separate the two sides. They occupy the Suez Canal zone as peacekeepers, Egypt is humiliated, the canal is back under Western control. On paper, brilliant. In reality, they forgot to ask one crucial question. What does America think? October 29th, 1956. Israel invades Egypt, right on schedule. October 31st. British and French planes bomb Egyptian airfields. Troops start landing. The invasion is working. Egyptian forces are retreating. The canal is being secured. Everything is going according to plan. In London, Eden thinks he's won. Britain is showing the world it still has teeth, still commands respect. He's celebrating. He hasn't noticed what's happening in Washington. President Dwight Eisenhower is absolutely furious. And here's why. Britain invaded without telling him during a US election week, while the Soviet Union is crushing Hungary, making America look like it can't control its own allies. But more than that, Eisenhower sees something Eden doesn't see. The world has changed. This isn't 1906. This isn't even 1946. The old empires don't run things anymore. America does. And Britain just acted like they didn't need American permission. That was a mistake. Because here's what nobody taught you in school. After World War II, Britain was completely broke. They owed America billions of dollars. The British pound, the currency that once ruled global trade, was only stable because America propped it up. Britain looked powerful. They had a military, nuclear weapons, colonies around the world, but underneath all of that, financial dependence. They needed American money to survive. And Eisenhower is about to remind them of that fact. November 5th, 1956. While British and French troops are winning on the ground in Egypt, Eisenhower makes a decision. He doesn't call Eden first. He calls the Bank of England. The message is simple. Stop supporting the British pound. Within hours, the currency markets go crazy. The British pound starts collapsing. Currency reserves are draining fast. Britain is watching their economy fall apart in real time. Then Eisenhower makes his move. He sends a message to Eden, not a request, an ultimatum. Withdraw from Egypt immediately, or we let your economy collapse. Think about what this means. Britain, the empire that defeated Hitler, that ruled India, that built a navy that controlled the seas, is being blackmailed by their former colony, not with military force, with money. November 6th, 1956. Eden calls an emergency cabinet meeting. The chancellor tells him the members, Britain has hours, not days, hours before financial crisis becomes total collapse. The choice is clear: withdraw from Suez and survive, or keep fighting and watch the pound become worthless. Eden gives the order: ceasefire, withdraw. Not because Britain lost the military fight, they were winning on the ground, but because America told them to stop, and Britain couldn't say no. Imagine being a British soldier in Egypt that day. You've secured your objectives, you're winning, the mission is working. Then you get the order: stop, retreat, go home. Why? Because the President of the United States made a phone call. That's the moment Britain stopped being a superpower. Not in a heroic last stand, not in a dramatic defeat, in a humiliating retreat because someone else controlled their money. The Suez Crisis lasted 6 days, but the consequences lasted decades. Here's what happened next. Britain and France withdraw in complete humiliation. Nasser becomes a hero across the Arab world. The Suez Canal stays in Egyptian hands. But the real damage isn't in Egypt. It's psychological. Every colony that was afraid of Britain before Suez learned one thing: Britain can't act without American permission. So why stay loyal to an empire that isn't really in charge anymore? 1957, Ghana becomes independent. Britain can't stop them. 1960s, the entire British Empire in Africa falls apart, one country after another. 1963, Kenya independent. 1964, Zambia and Malawi. 1965, Rhodesia declares independence, and Britain can't even send troops to stop it. Why? Because Suez proved Britain didn't have the power anymore. The empire that took 200 years to build fell apart in about 15 years, and it all started with those 6 days. Here's the brutal truth nobody wants to admit. Empires don't end because they run out of soldiers. They end because they've run out of money. Britain still had a military after Suez. They still had nuclear weapons. They still had territories. But they owed too much, depended too much, needed American support too much. And the moment America said no, it was over. The math is simple. You can't be a superpower if someone else can destroy your economy with one phone call. So why does this matter now? Why am I telling you about something that happened nearly 70 years ago? Because the pattern from Suez is repeating right now. Lesson 1. Debt destroys empires faster than war. Britain had military strength, global presence, nuclear weapons, but they had debt. And when the creditor says jump, you jump. Look around today. Which countries look powerful but are drowning in debt? Which economies are one financial crisis away from collapse? The United States is over $36 trillion in debt. China holds over $1 trillion of that debt. What happens when the creditor decides to make a phone call? Lesson 2. The The new superpower decides when the old one is finished. Britain didn't choose to stop being an empire. America chose for them. One ultimatum, 6 days, done. Today, who has that power now? Who could crash another major economy with one decision? When you depend on someone else's currency, their trade, their military protection, you're not really independent. Europe depends on American military. Many countries depend on Chinese manufacturing. Small nations depend on larger neighbors. Lesson 3. It happens faster than anyone expects. October 1956, Britain thinks it runs the world. November 1956, Britain takes orders from Washington. 6 days. Empires don't fade slowly. They have a breaking point, a moment where everyone realizes the power has shifted. Are we living in someone's before right now? Is there a country that looks strong today, but is actually one crisis away from losing everything? The final truth? Anthony Eden resigned 3 months after Suez, broken, sick, humiliated. He thought he was defending the British Empire. Instead, he proved it was already dead. The Suez Canal is still there. Egypt still controls it. Britain never got it back. But those 6 days taught the world how power really works. It's not about how strong you look. It's about who you owe and what they can do to you when you forget that. The British Empire didn't lose everything in a war. They lost it in a phone call. And somewhere right now, another superpower is one phone call away from learning the same lesson. If you want to see these patterns before they happen, subscribe, because history doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme.